Here we go. We're in. I think everything's live. There we go. Good morning. So, good morning, Instagram. Hello. Good to see you. You all right? Good morning, TikTok. Hello. Good to see you. Good morning, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We're doing a little live now. I want to talk about something which I've had a conversation with someone over the weekend. And it's really interesting on the way a lot of people are approaching sales, business, the whole 9 yards. So I thought for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe have a catch up. Morning, Nathan. Good to see you. If you see me jumping around, looking all over the place, I'm not mental. We've got Instagram, you guys are here. TikTok, you guys are here. And then here we've got LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, because multitasking just makes life a hell of a lot easier. So if you get any questions, by the way, pop them in the chat. We should have 5 or so minutes at the end, which I can sort of come around. So if it's around selling, business, entrepreneurship, pop it in the chat. We'll try and come around to some of those as well. Okay. So I was having a conversation with someone over the weekend, and he's not going out and doing the very thing that he's meant to go and do. He's got a business, and he's so caught up in every single area of the business that doesn't make him money. Now, it shouldn't just be about making money, but the idea of setting up a business is to make money. And he has spent months redesigning the website, doing the logo, creating a brochure, all of these different areas. And they're all really helpful, but they don't drive revenue. Now, for him, the big problem that he faces is every month he's really stressed, he's getting really frustrated, he's getting really tired, he's getting really drained in the business. And when he's going home at night, he's giving his family crumbs of energy. He's always on his phone. He's doing all of this stuff because he's stressed that he's not moving the business forward. And the reason he feels this way is because he's got all these outgoings. He's not taking any money out of the business because he's not driving any revenue. And so what he's actually doing, and maybe you can relate to this, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're here on TikTok, whether you're here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, is there's no other way to say it, but he's just scared of going out and actually selling. And I believe it's more common than a lot of people really give it credit for. And on a Monday morning, it's really apparent, because actually, whatever industry you're in, you know the majority of the time, the activities that are going to at least move you towards revenue, whether that's meetings, whether that's calls, whether that's your follow-up, whether that's setting appointments, whatever it might be, you know what drives in your business revenue. But normally at the same time, if you're going out and trying to drive revenue into your business, there's a chance that people might say no. You'll be blown away. So because there's a chance of rejection, because there's a chance of someone saying no, we actually put it off. So whether you're here on Instagram, whether you're here on TikTok, whether you're here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, I would like you to try and do this week. Get a pen and paper, get your iPad out, however you want to do it, and work out a really long list of every single area of your business that drives revenue. What are all the little things that are being done? Whether that's DMing people, whether that's text message, whether that's voice notes, videos, phone calls, meetings, appointments, all of the other stuff. And then work out in order over the space of the last 12 weeks, 16 weeks, which has been the areas that have given you the most revenue. Now I want you to look at, now you know what the activities are and what the results have been from those activities, work out of all those things, what is the amount of time that you're spending doing that activity every single week? Because when I've done this with someone over the weekend, the main areas that they're making money through, revenue through, was actually one of the lowest areas that was getting their time and attention every single week. And when we looked at it a little bit more, and we went down the rabbit hole a little bit more, it was really clear. The fear of rejection was far greater than the desire for revenue. And it's one of the biggest parts with this. And I think a lot of people are putting so much pressure on themselves to get in the sales process, they're actually forgetting why they're doing it to start with. If you're putting all this pressure on yourself to go out and have to sell, start hammering people for a deal, you're going to meet that with a level of resistance. And a lot of the time, because we aren't comfortable, confident, happy, and able to know what we're doing, when we're doing, and what's the most effective, you're almost fumbling around in the dark trying to get some opportunities that are out there. And it doesn't help. But what you can go off and do is actually have conversations today that can move it slightly forward, that can re-engage someone, that can activate someone. One of the best activities for a huge amount of people that we talk to is really being honest with where your pipeline actually is. Because a lot of people, they have this big, long pipeline of opportunities that are in front of them. And they've had a huge amount of those things for a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And they're just almost pushing these people around on their pipeline sheet, and it's not moving it forward. And what we don't want to get caught up in is just doing activity. The idea is producing results. And if you can't work out, or if you don't know at the moment, where is my time being spent? What's the results of those activities? It's very hard to become really effective in what you're doing. And then if you can look at this and really work it out, I think for a vast majority of people now, they work out where their time is being spent. They could actually work less and really make more. So whatever business you've got, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're here on TikTok, thanks Dallas Realtor for all the likes, whether you're here on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, it shouldn't just be that you're just trying to work the most compared to anyone else. Well, hard work's great, but just being active isn't what the goal should actually be. We want to make sure that we're actually producing results from those activities to a high converting way. And a lot of the time we're not. Now that comes down to skills. Because if you're working really, really hard and you're not getting the results that you want, that's because the skills that you've got aren't to the standard that need to be there or that you might think you have. And this is also why a huge amount of the time people are going off and not putting in the actions in the areas that they need to put into them because they know they're not very good in those areas. So you end up having in your business the areas that you can make money in, doing less in those areas because you're not effective in those areas, and it holds you back. The vast majority of people I talk to, they're not completely comfortable going out in the sales process because they're fearful of rejection. But I can tell you this, the rejection's going to come all the same. And often what we're doing is we're making it into such a big event, we're making it really hard to succeed. And actually, for the vast majority of us, you could go out and do something today that would actually move the needle, re-engage, spark interest, build curiosity with someone. Get someone from that pipeline sheet and actually get them back activated. Have a conversation with some leads today that you know that they're not quite as white hot as they were and get them back on track. Doesn't mean you're going to get a deal from it, but it means that where you are and the leads that you have are in a better place to become a client, to become a buyer in the next couple of days, in the next week. We've all gone out from the other side and had things in our lives that we wanted to buy, and we haven't. And we've just got used to it being an idea. Your prospects are exactly the same. So if I can give you a bit of advice for this week, work out where you're spending your time. Work out what's driving your revenue. Work out how much time you're spending doing the things that drive the revenue each week. And the final part is work out what are the things I'm actually avoiding doing. We're going to come around and do some questions. I know there's a couple that's gone in the chat, so I will come around to those in a second. If you've got any, please do put them in. So this is where we want to look at. What are the areas that we want to focus more on, and what are the areas that we're avoiding? And when we work out the areas that we're avoiding, we work out why we're avoiding them. Is it a fear of rejection? Is it because there's a lack of skill? Is it because we're not sure what to do? Is it because we get to the same place every time and we get stuck? Is there a hurdle or a barrier that we can't seem to get past? And when we work out where these hurdles, where these barriers, where these obstacles are, there is likely a solution that you can go and learn pretty quickly to fill that gap. And what a lot of us have is a bit of information, and we sort of know what we need to do, but we're not competent at the delivery side of actually doing it. And that is where, for the vast majority of people, we have to make a change. It's not about knowing what to do. It's about being competent at the thing that we're trying to go off and do. That's my thoughts on it anyway. Right, so let's have a quick chin wag on here. I saw a couple of questions. Let me have a scroll through. Let's see if I can find them. By the way, so we're on Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. I can't remember. LinkedIn. Okay. I thought I saw a couple. No drama if not. So Bassin says, what do you say when prospects want to think about it? Price objection. Okay, it's a great question. If you're at the stage now that you're hearing certain objections, you've got to look at the advice that you take with this. There is a big difference in different areas that we sell. Saying sales is like saying sports. You've got B2B, you've got B2C, you've got enterprise sales, you've got 1 call, 2 call, 3 call closes. So you've got to look at where you are, what you're selling, and where you are in the process. If someone says they need to think about it inside of the first 2 minutes, it's a smokescreen objection. If you've had 2 calls with them in a B2B scenario and they need to think about it, but they've also got a board, is it the fact they need to think about it, or is it the fact they're trying to work out what other people are going to try and do? So it's really important to work out what you are trying to do. And then behind that, working out how you can reduce resistance and increase the flow of the conversation. So work out initially, where are we in the process? Why might it be said? And what is actually the meaning? Because the whole I want to think about it isn't something that the prospect enjoys to say. And a lot of the time people get really caught up on that they're getting these bad leads. No one's getting on a call with you for an hour and wanting to go off and think about it. You've got to be able to work out where you're going. And then you've got to lean into, without adding resistance, increase the flow and bring them along on the journey. So think about it like it's me and you talking about the problem rather than it being me and my solution and you with the problem. It shouldn't be combative. It should be more relaxed. How do I handle all the hate we get? You get it. Anytime you're doing anything that's out there, you're going to get people that aren't going to agree. The goal isn't to get everyone to like you. The goal is to find a small group of raving fans that love what you do. And the people that are out there that don't like you, they're not going to become your clients anyway. So the way that you work shouldn't matter. It's really important to realize that, prime example, if anyone knows who Mr. Beast is, biggest YouTuber in the world, he helped 1,000 people that were blind see, and he still got hate. He literally helped 1,000 people that couldn't see be able to see, and he still got hate. And after that, I realized it doesn't matter what you do in the world, someone's going to disagree. I think that might have been all the questions for today. Right, I think that's a bit. SC, hi Dave, love your videos, keep them up. Will do. Thank you, buddy. Right, okay. So I've got to go because we've got to prep for our Sales Accelerator program. Every Monday morning, we go off and live group coach clients. It's like an affordable subscription service. Anyone wants to have a look, go to theultimatesalestrainingacademy.com. We've also got a free training, which we've just released. It's a 60-minute training around objections and all of that jazz. If you want it, DM me with the word objection. We'll just ping you over the video. Go and have a good week this week. Go and make sure what you're doing is going to count, and make sure you're actually taking a step from where you are now and overcoming those barriers and hurdles that you've got. And anyone who's a client, I'll see you on the call at 9:30. Cheers, guys. This is always your awkward bit, trying to end it all. See you later. Right. See you later.